Okay, this one's been requested a couple of times, so we're going to go into a straddle pancake flexibility. It's a follow-along program, so 10 minutes of work. Let's first measure where we're at. So this is going to be our cold flexibility in the straddle pancake. Even if you're super tight, still sit on the floor in this position, just to get the initial measurement. So we're going to sit on the floor in the straddle position, and then we're just going to see if we can get one elbow to touch the floor. If we can't get an elbow to touch the floor, I'm going to put my hand or fist underneath my elbow, or even open up, so you can get some sort of measurement. Videoing or taking a picture where you start as well is really useful. Then if you can get one elbow, we see if we can get two elbows. If you can get two elbows, see if you can get head to double fist, one fist to palms, forehead to the floor, nose to the floor, chin to the floor, chest to the floor, belly button to the floor. So it continues. So hair cold, I'm getting nose to the floor. And I know once I've warmed up, I can normally get chest, belly button to the floor. First exercise, so standing up, we're going to have the feet slightly wider than shoulder width position. And then I'm going to do a straddle good morning, a standing version. So I'm just going to open and close the hip, making sure I open up all the way at the top, coming up and down, going as deep as I can. We're going to work with 5 repetitions for all the drills today. So obviously if you've got longer, you could just increase the repetitions. So I'll do 5 there. Now I'm going to take the feet a bit wider, still not at my maximum depth or width in terms of how far I can take the feet apart. Another 5 repetitions, you'll notice you'll get a little bit deeper now, making sure you still fully open the hip at the top. If you can't open the hip, bring the feet back in just a touch. So another 5 repetitions there. Okay, stand up, shake the legs out. So we'll do one more of those. And now we're going to go to our maximum width, that we can go and still have an open hip at the top. We do 5 repetitions. So I know at that position I can get nose, chin to the floor, and making sure I can open all the way at the top, pushing the hip forwards. So as I go down, I'm also sticking the butt backwards a little bit to stop myself falling forwards and pushing through those heels. And then stand back up, shake the hip out. Okay, into a pigeon stretch now. So you can do this on the floor, or if you're tighter, or if you've got your back leg, your hip flexor plays you up a little bit, you can raise your hip up onto something. You could go up on a box, on the couch or something. I often do it in a raised position because I'm very tight in this position. So ideally you'll have 90 degrees at the knee, and again we do 5 repetitions there, trying to keep the torso as straight as possible, taking the chest towards the floor, and then opening up to a seated position at the top. A harder variation would be to have your hands behind your back. So I'm going to swap sides. My right side is much tighter than my left. So again, 5 repetitions there, trying to keep 90 degrees as best you can at the knee, pushing the knee into the floor as you go up and down, pushing the butt back and down. 5 reps, chest towards the knee and back up. Okay, then we're going to stand up, shake the hips out. Okay, we're going to go back into the straddle position. So this time, if you are very tight in the straddle position, you'll need a cushion or something to raise your butt up, so a yoga block or something around. It depends how tight you are. So the tighter you are, the more the height you're going to need. So we sit down in the straddle position. I've also grabbed a block now, so I'm holding a block in my hand. You can use anything. So first of all, I get rid of the butt cheeks, move the hips out of the way, so I'm sort of on my sit bones. Then I'm going to grab the block and I put it out in front of me and then sit back upright. I lean forwards again, lift the block up and push forwards, put it back down again. So I'm not putting my hands on the floor, I'm not putting my elbows on the floor. I'm going to do 5 of these, reaching out to my max position, trying to lengthen the spine. Now I'm going to rotate to one side and try and get the chest towards the knee, head towards the toe, go down as far as I can, and then come back up to that middle position and back down again. So every time I'm going down, I'm trying to reach as far forwards as I can, trying to take the chest towards the knee, not the head towards the knee. Head wants to be going towards the toes, so we're lengthening the spine as we go up and down. Once done 5 on one side, over to the other side, chest towards the knee, head towards the toe, Remember, it's head towards the toes, not head towards the knee. Okay, then I'm going to go back to the first side, now taking the more of a sideways movement, taking the shoulder to the knee or towards the knee as best I can. If I have the flexibility, I'm going to reach over the top and grab hold of the foot, and then I can pull myself down. If I'm comfortable there, I can do a little bounce. If it's easy to get the shoulder to touch the knee, then I can take the shoulder inside of the knee and try and take it down towards the floor. I'm trying to keep both sit bones on the floor still, so try not to lift the butt cheek as you do it. See there, my right butt cheek is trying to lift. So over to the other side, I'm trying to get that shoulder down towards the floor, because I can touch the knee. I've gone like that. If you can't touch the knee with the shoulder, that's fine. Just go as far over as you can. If you can't grab a hold of the foot, just reach, let the arm hang over. So 5 repetitions there. Okay, then we're going to jump up. We're going to shake the hips out, shake the legs out. Okay, the next one is a straddle up. So this is where we come up and down off the floor. So ideally you won't raise the butt up. So the goal is to have your butt onto the floor and then be able to push back up, taking the head forwards, lift up, open the hip all the way, and then back down again. If you struggle with this one and you can't get up, you can sit your butt onto something and push off something as well. Ideally, it'll be something you can change the height of. So a stack of weight plates or a few yoga blocks, if you've got the firm ones, will work well there. Just something that you can change the height of. So as your flexibility increases, you can slowly decrease the height. Okay, now we're going to go back into that straddle position. So if you sat on a cushion or a mat last time, grab that again, sit onto that, get the hip bones, get the butt cheeks out of the way so you get onto the sit bones. So now I've grabbed a 5K plate. You can use any weight. I'd start with a lighter one and slowly increase the weight depending on your experience with stretching this. If you're new to it, if you get any pain or discomfort, go without, raise the butt up a little bit higher and don't use a weight. As I go up and down, I'm going to reach forwards as far as I can with the elbows. Try and touch the floor if I can, but I'm trying to get the distance is the big thing, so as far as away from me as I can, and then keep that pulling away as I raise up and down. So stand up, shake the legs out. Then we're going to go into a hamstring stretch. So this one we're going to work compression as well as just the hamstring. So I'm standing up on a box, but if you don't have the flexibility and you're just going to have your feet on the floor, that's fine. You can start by grabbing hold of the shins or the ankles. I'm going to bend the knees and take my thighs towards my stomach. And then as I straighten the knees, I'm going to pull down with the hands and try and take the head towards the floor. So if that's comfortable, I can stand up on a box, or I can grab something that's lower than the box. So the IKEA steps here work really well because they've got the holes in the side. I can try and straighten the legs as much as I can. If I can fully straighten, on the next one, I'm going to try and grab a little bit lower on the box. And trying to keep that chest, stomach against the thighs as best I can as I'm straightening and bending the legs. So same deal, 5 repetitions there. Okay, then we're going to go down onto the floor and we're going to re-measure. So at the end of the 10 minutes now, we're going to re-measure where we got from, where we started. So back into that same position. Ideally, we're going to video here so you can take a picture and you can compare your start and finish positions. So one is cold, one is warmed up. This is the warmed up position. So same deal, get rid of the butt cheeks out of the way. Okay, and then do your measurements. So see if you can get 1 elbow to touch, 2 elbows to touch, head to fist, head to the floor, nose to the floor, just some way of measuring it. Chin to the floor, chest to the floor if you can, belly button to the floor. So there, with that 10-minute stretch, I've now got belly button, chest towards the floor. So wherever you're at, you should just notice quite a big difference between your cold position and then your stretched position. So by doing this little routine every 2 to 3 days, you should start to notice quite a difference. Initially, you'll notice quite a big difference, and then it will probably slow down a little bit. It's taken me 5 to 6 years to get where I am now with my straddle. I was sitting up on some plates and couldn't sit in the straddle position. I'm also 44 years old, so I started this flexibility journey quite late on. Mine's specifically for handstand, so there I'm demonstrating the same position in the handstand. Same deal as usual. Let me know if you have any questions, any requests for videos. Stick them down in the comments below. Thumbs up and subscribe will be appreciated, and I'll see you next time.